The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Darien Ice Rink for tonight's second FCIAC Semifinal in girls ice hockey on the HAN Network. I'm Rob Adams, happy to have you along, and tonight in game number 2, we will watch the number 1 Darien Blue Wave take on number 4 Stamford-Westhill-Staples. They go by SWS. For the Blue Wave, they have been the story of the year. 19-1 overall, 14-0 in the FCIAC. SWS at 12-8, 8-6 in the conference. John Kovach and Frank Granito joined me for the call, and John, I'm going to ask you the same question I opened game number 1 with. How does SWS find a way to beat this Darien Blue Wave team?
They have to play the way Ridgefield played in the first 6 minutes of that first game and keep Darien bottled up. It's a tough task. Ridgefield got it done for about 6 minutes, then New Canaan got on the board, and then it took off from there.
And it was a very impressive performance by the New Canaan Rams, a 5-0 victory for the Rams to get to the FCIAC Championship, where they will take on the winner of this game at 12:50 on Saturday afternoon. Ice side is Frank Granito. Frank, down to you. And again, sort of the same question for you. It seems like a mountain to climb for SWS.
Well, SWS is going to have to play a perfect game tonight in order to pull off a victory here and an upset to get to the FCIAC Championship. And it will all start with number 30, Claire Perry, in goal. She has got to be the foundation for this team that keeps them in the game. And whenever Darien makes a mistake tonight, they have got to be able to capitalize on it.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. As we get ready to meet the starting lineups and get this game going. Game 2 for us, of course, it's a busy night. We are keeping an eye on the playoff action in the girls' FCIAC semifinals in basketball, the final night of the regular season for boys basketball as well, and a few other hits and misses all along the way.
Yeah, we have sports reporters at these games all across the county providing updates. We'll be giving you updates. They're on Twitter providing updates. We have people out there keeping track of what is really the busiest night of this winter season.
Absolutely true. Bill Bloxham is out there, among others, so we've got plenty of people at all these games keeping an eye on everything, really covering this from head to toe throughout the conference this evening, and we're very glad to be able to do that for you. We take a look at the starting lineups for this second game this evening for the Darien Blue Wave and their head coach, Jamie Tropsa. He will start with Georgia Cassidy, centering the top line of Shay Vandenbroek and Skylar Vandenbroek. Shay will be on left wing. Defensively, Chandler Kirby and Katie Zero and Emily Giannunzio right down below us in net. For SWS and Phil Mieline, the head coach, he'll have Biz Fay and Haley Blau, as well as Stephanie Walsh, Anisia Babchenko, Erin McGroarty, and Claire Perry in net. And with all that said and done, Game 2 is underway. And right back it goes into the Blue Wave zone. So they'll bring it out. Georgia Cassidy skating from top to bottom. They get it across the SWS line. SWS does not have a true mascot. They prefer to be SWS, and they have uniforms that are absolutely stunning to look at, as do the Blue Wave, of course.
Sorry, Rob, they are great unis.
Goes into the right circle. Right now, having to look at it through the monitor as they're at the far end of the ice, but I really like that look, and I've noticed that look before. Out to neutral zone ice it goes. Collected there by Cassidy. Cassidy across the line. Cassidy explosive on net and sends it along to the right wing boards. No score, 50 seconds gone by in the opening stanza. As it goes down into the left corner, Cassidy over there, now behind the net. No score early on. Held in at the right point. Wristed. It'll flick down into the left corner. Over to grab it for SWS is Babchenko from Staples. Into the left corner. To the top of the left circle it goes. Chipped along. Fanning on the pass. And the Blue Wave will take it right back. So skating ahead goes Katie Zero. Zero into the left circle. Left behind, though, it goes into that left circle. Cassidy Schiff was there as well. No score with 90 seconds gone by in period number 1. Grabbed by Courtney Lowe of the Blue Wave. They are the top seed. Sent ahead and across the line to Marissa Baker. Baker into the right circle. Baker in that right circle, had it bounce back behind the cage. It'll go into the left corner. 13-13 to go in the first period. No score as of right now. Playing it into the slot. They're trying to turn it back out. SWS unable to create any traction to bring it down to Emily Giannunzio in net. Behind the net it goes with 12:58 to go in the first period. Georgia Cassidy, of course, just an absolute star. 38 goals on the year, 19 assists, plus she's over 200 career points, one of only 4 to do so. Held in the high slot it goes. The backhander goes down on net. And the face-off will go to the right side of Perry.
And Rob, you're talking about Georgia Cassidy. Joined the 200-point club on Monday this week, the 5th member in Connecticut State High School history, the first one not from the south side of the Merritt.
That is very true. I meant to say 5th, meaning 4 above her, but nonetheless held in along the left boards. 12:28 to go in the first period and no score. Back out of the zone it goes, but there's a Blue Wave able to grab it and send it along. Across the line it goes, down behind the net, and for the Blue Wave, along comes Elise Morrow, the sophomore. 12:10 to go, first period. Behind the net again, the puck is loose. They go to chip on it, on net, and it goes behind the net again. 3 minutes gone by in period number 1 as it goes into the right corner. Eric Gendron directed broadcast number 1. A.J. Simonowski manning the controls here for game number 2. And held in at the left point by Zarro. Down the left side it goes. On comes Elise Marrow to play it for the Blue Wave. Again, SWS having trouble getting any traction and not allowing John Kovac a chance to talk.
That's okay. I'm juggling a lot.
Aaron McGrody for SWS is behind the net. Now held in and kept on net. $11:27 to go in the first.
Ward with an 8-point lead over the Ridgefield girls basketball team. That with 4:41 left in the half. Bill Bloxham there for the Ridgefield Press and the Fairfield Sun.
Thank you very much, Bill. Doing great work and really exciting to have a full, like a phalanx of people all over the conference covering all this stuff tonight. It's fun stuff.
Right, able to put stuff on multiple platforms and kind of bounce things around.
Dare I say multimedia. Along the left wing boards with 11:09 to go in the first. Into the left circle, wristed on net, and that goes high along to the to the right wing boards rather. And along comes Emily Ferguson for Darien. Along the left side in the corner, behind the net, now Cassidy. Cassidy, bottom of the left circle, chipped along. It'll be grabbed by SWS behind the net in that Navy uniform, as you can kind of spy it there. Goes behind the net, almost a midnight there. Especially you can see more of the blue as you look at it from up here. Along the right side. Behind the net again. Puck is loose. They go to throw it back on net. Darien just keeping the pressure on. Grabbed by Ferguson. Ferguson cross ice. Down goes to Lowe. And it goes off into the left corner. Now along the left wing boards, and SWS trying to get it back out of the zone, unable to do so. That was Rachel Stanford with the head of steam. She is from Staples High School. Down the right side, now to be taken back behind the net in the Darien zone by Ferguson. Ferguson trying to whistle it back out to center, and it's bounced along and turned right back to Cassidy. Cassidy, Georgia Cassidy, into the left circle. Cassidy stick handling, left it behind, turned over, now in the high slot, just a low laser beam on net and pushed off into the left circle with 9:44 to go in the first period. Scoreless so far. You like what you're seeing from SWS holding things off so far?
I do, except all the plays down there.
That's the problem.
Which you're absorbing punches right now. It's like being up against the ropes and absorbing punches. Frank?
Oh, that's the right way to put it. They're not allowing Darien to get to the meaty center of the zone. They're keeping them outside the house, away from the slot, but there's a lot of shots on goal right now. Perry's had to make a couple saves, and again, you're just stuck in your own zone, and it wears on you early in the game.
I thought with all that, off the ropes, you were going to work in the wrestling announcer, Jim Ross. I thought you were going to work in a reference to him somehow since he's going into boxing now.
Oh, give it time.
Behind the net, it goes into the right corner. It's just like, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. Jim Ross goes into boxing, and now Doc Emmerich's going to dabble in baseball. It's just all good. Off to the right circle it goes. First period, no score in this FCIAC semifinal game. Going back behind the net in the Darien end. All this at the opposite end of our perspective here at the Darien Ice Rink. Held in at the left point by Chandler Kirby of Darien. 8:49 to go, first period. No score so far, and back out to neutral zone ice it goes. So waiting there to grab it and reset is Katie Zaro. She'll spin around into her own zone, has Chandler Kirby to her left, but feeds it out, and across the line goes Marissa Baker. Baker to the top of the right circle. Flutter bomb down on net, and Perry will hold on.
Rob, you mentioned Doc Emmerich going into baseball. Let me tell you what I'm most excited for about the 2016 Summer Olympics is when Doc Emmerich does water polo.
Yes! Again. Yes, indeed.
He does that well.
It is. It's the best sport on earth when he does it.
Down on net, and the kick save from Perry. And out it goes, down into the Darien zone. It'll come down into the right corner. No score, 8:15 to go in the first period. Collected there by Kathleen Tropsa, looking to play it back out, but SWS able to create a little trouble with Stanford in the left corner. Now it'll come behind the net. It is a combination of almost an orange, that's how that red looks, with white and blue. It is an attractive look. Really like those uniforms.
Yeah, it's like the... kind of like when the Islanders went to that real dark blue.
And an offside will be whistled here with 7:45 to go in the first period. No score.
And Rob, from where I'm standing, I can tell you it is the Staples dark blue. The S is a West Hill purple, and the orange trim you are seeing comes from the Black Knights of Stamford.
That's what I thought.
And it really works out a lot better than you would expect.
Yeah. This is the first time we're seeing SWS on the HAN network, but, we had interviewed the players, and we've seen pictures. Obviously, we've had some of the players as Athlete of the Week nominees, and so it gives you a chance to see pictures of the uniforms for sure, and again, pretty sharp. Along the right wing in a scoreless game as we hit the midway point of period number 1. It'll go into the right corner and go behind the net. Now they'll work it around to the left wing boards, and along comes Babchenko from Staples. She is a junior. Down on net it goes to Claire Perry from Staples. She's a junior as well. Behind the net, now into the right circle, and the Blue Wave keep the pressure on. Left circle, and the wrister goes on net. They flail at it, nothing cooking. High slot, just working it through traffic. It'll go off into the left corner. No score with 8 minutes gone in period number 1. So the Blue Wave keep the onslaught going down into the left corner. Down comes Sky Vandenbroek in that left corner. She'll go to play it back behind the cage, now off toward Cassidy. It's in that left circle, and they'll keep it at the left point. That's where Kathleen Tropsa is set up. Out to center it goes, and it'll get thrown across the line by Courtney Lowe. No score, 6:30 to go in the first period. Back it comes for Tropsa, but nonetheless, an icing will be whistled by one of our officials in this second game, and they are James Dupuy and Siobhan Camone Rustin.
And that's a poor icing there by Haley Blau. The Blue Wave was off changing. She had time to make a play, and just after a sustained amount of time in their own zone, just chose to ice it. And once again, the Blue Wave back in the offensive zone.
And they're right back on it, down into the right circle. They'll go behind the net. 6:17 to go first period, and no score so far along the left wing boards. Kept alive along those left boards once again. Puck loose and turned right back out of the zone. This a 1-4 matchup, and we told you the records at the top of the broadcast. And obviously it would favor Darien in theory. Cross ice it goes into the left circle. However, not so fast. They played a rather close game earlier this year, John.
1-0. The margin of victory for Darien over Stamford-Westhill-Staples. and that was January 6th at Terry Connors. It was 7-0 Darien when they met the second time, February 1st here.
And right here with 5:35 to go in the first period, it's no score. So back out to the neutral zone. They'll bring it across the line. The winner will move to the FCIAC Championship, which you will see right here on the HAN Network Saturday at 12:50, game one of a triple header. Into the right circle, the backhander heads down to Perry, and Perry holds on. .5:18 to go, first period, no score.
And yet another defensive zone face-off for SWS.
Go! Into the high slot, down on net. It got deflected off bodies and spun back around, and out comes SWS. Skating from top to bottom, they get across the line with Babchenko down the left side. The backhander goes to nobody and turned right back instead with Elise Morrow. She gets across the line into the SWS zone, got near the hash marks, held in at the left point by Kathleen Tropsa with 4:48 to go in period number one, and no score. Our thanks to Darien head coach Jamie Tropsa, who was on Nutmeg Sports earlier today. Dave Stewart and I chatted with him for a bit. Into the right corner it goes, bouncing along and held in at the right point. Kept at that right point and pushed down into the right corner. Waiting there is Molly Reed of Darien. 4:25 to go in the first. Back out of the zone one more time. Twisting is Chandler Kirby. Kirby will step across the line into the left circle. Gets down on net. Travels down on net and scores. A wonderful effort by Chandler Kirby, and it's a 1-0 game.
Just a strong move and a long time to get back up in the Stamford crease there.
So at 10:47, it's a 1-0 game.
Just a strong move, and Kirby was not going to be stopped. She was going in basically the rough equivalent of a slam dunk.
And it started with a bad change by Stamford-Westhill-Staples. That allowed Kirby the odd man rush opportunity. And coach Phil Miolini is furious right now on the bench. He thought there should have been a goalie interference call as Kirby was ridden in to Perry.
I wondered about that myself.
Yep. So 1-0 on the goal by Kirby at 10:47. We remind you, by the way, there was chuck-a-puck going on here tonight in honor of ALS as the puck comes off into the left circle, and we remind you to go to ALS.net and ice ALS as the backslash as this is covered up by Perry.
Got a halftime score from the Fairfield Ward Ridgefield girls basketball game, 28-18, Ward by 10 over Ridgefield at the half. Our Bill Bloxham there doing updates for the Ridgefield Press and the Fairfield Sun.
So quite possibly Ward and Stamford for the FCIAC Championship on Friday. We will have that game for you right here on the HAN Network as we put our basketball hats on. Spun back the other way, it'll come out of the zone. And again, SWS can't seem to get anything going. Across the line, it's Baker. Baker leaves it in the high slot, pushed across, and it goes down into the left corner. 1-0 with 3:25 to go in the first period. Held in at the left point by Courtney Lowe of Darien. They bring it back out into the neutral zone now. Skating along is Emily Ferguson. They get it across the SWS line. Ferguson in the high slot. Doesn't do a whole lot with it, leaves it. Now it comes over just inside at the top of the left circle. It'll bounce around and go behind the net. Just looking to throw it out in front, and they score! Very quickly, it's 2-0.
SWS has been on the ropes, absorbing this onslaught from Darien for the better part of 12 minutes now. And it's a deflection there that's going to make it 2-0.
It was Corinne Bevel. She threw it from behind the net. It went off Perry's stick and right through her legs. That's how that first one goes. That's unassisted, and the goal by Kirby was also unassisted, Rob.
So 2 unassisted goals, Kirby at 10:47 and Bevel at 11:57, and it's a 2-0 game. And you just get the sense, John, not that I wish to be the bearer of bad news, but you get the sense SWS needs to deliver a theoretical punch, shall we say, and quickly.
They need to get on the board. They need a breakaway with Darien trapped in the zone. Get on the board and show they can hang a little bit.
Kirby will skate behind her own net with 2:17 to go in the first period. Sends it back out the center and across the line and nearly alone. And here goes Cassidy, and she does it again.
And Rob, I'm not sure what was better, the pass from Kirby or the finish by Cassidy.
Cassidy put on a clinic as to how to finish there, Frank. If you could have seen the stick handling from where we are, again, looking up behind the play, back, forth, lifted up over the shoulder.
That's the Gordon Bombay triple deke.
Oh, it was a heck of a play. Cassidy for her 39th of the year, and it's 3-0. Darien has all of a sudden exploded for 3 goals quickly here, and a penalty coming here for interference just after that goal. And if not, well, let's say adds insult to injury. Here comes a power play.
It's Stephanie Walsh going off for SWS. It'll be 2 minutes for interference, battling for the puck, and sent what looked like Marissa Baker down to the ground.
Just a mere 6 seconds after the goal, and now a power play for the Blue Wave. They lead 3-0. Just 3 seconds gone by. Cross ice it goes, now held in. Cassidy, high slot, works it down, left circle, one-timer, pinballs around off to the left side of Perry. A 3-0 game with 1:47 to go in the first period. Just about 3 seconds between the game clock and the penalty. To the left side, here's Cassidy at the left point, pushes down into the left circle, trying to spin it around on net. Fanning initially, it goes off to Baker. Baker at the side of the left circle. Baker to the bottom of the left circle, now sends it back out to Cassidy in the high slot, works it off into the right circle, sending it around, that's loose, and they score again. It's a power play goal, it's 4-0.
Darien just imposing its will on SWS, and there's still 2 more periods to go.
Well, it'll be inverse scoring this time. Kirby with the finish, and Cassidy with the assist that time.
Down to the final 1:20 of period number 1 as the Blue Wave are 1 for 1 on the power play. Into the left corner it goes. Skating along to try to do something with it is Stanford for SWS. Down into that left corner, and it'll come over into the right circle. It has been relentless so far. I would not be able to even take a guess whether Giannunzio has been tested so far. I don't think she has.
No shots yet for SWS.
That's what I thought. Into the right corner it goes. They've got 45 seconds to get a shot on net. This is the FCIAC Semifinals. The winner will play the New Canaan Rams Saturday at 12:50. Into the high slot it goes. It bounces around off the save and comes along to the right wing boards. Down to 32 remaining in the first period. 4-0 Darien. Into the right corner. Twisting down, it goes across and to the hash marks in the left circle. Down to 22 to go in the period. Left corner now, skating along, came Biz Fay for SWS. Goes behind the net with 15 to go in the period. Working it across, it's in the left circle again. Down on net, and Perry makes the save. Into the left corner, and one more time, there's Morrow. Down to 5 to go in the first period. Along in the left circle, and pushed back out of the zone with 1, and the period comes to an end. Lots of shots for Darien, none for SWS. 4 goals on the board for Darien, and nothing for SWS after 1. That's your score in the semifinal. We'll take a break and come back to the Darien Ice Rink right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Getting ready to start the second period at the Darien Ice Rink. Rob Adams, John Kovac, Frank Granito, as well as Eric Gendron and A.J. Simonowski up above the ice. 4-0 after one, John.
Update from Sean Saylor, this boys basketball in the FCIAC. Ludlow up on McMahon 70-57. I believe that win could put Ludlow in the FCIACs.
I believe it does, if I recall. I do believe Ludlow needs Greenwich to lose, and I think that ices it, but I have to say I'm not sure. Kick save made here to start the second period, but I do remember seeing a note like that earlier today. Off to the hash marks, into the left corner. It's okay. My memory is, I get accused of being old all the time. My memory's not that bad. Cassidy works it just off to the top of the right circle, and it'll go down into the left corner. A brilliant first period of hockey by the Darien Blue Wave. Kirby, Bevel, Cassidy, and Kirby from Cassidy, all with the goals. And 4-0 after one as we move into the second period. Claire Perry standing right down below us, and it'll go back behind the net. Into the right corner, now into the right circle. Bouncing down, it's loose and now covered by Perry.
Stayed with that one, butterfly down.
And Perry's been unbelievable so far. She's given up 4 goals in that first period, but she stopped about 20 shots before a single one of them went in. And we talked about how SWS would have to play a perfect game to have a chance today, and they just have not been successful enough clearing the zone to consider it perfect.
Face off to the left side of Perry. Into the high slot it goes. It's loose. Down to her knees. Now climbing back up is Bevel. Bevel with a goal. Just inside the line. They work it down to the bottom of the circle. Now into the left circle. Top shelf. And Marissa Baker makes it a nickel. 5-0.
Not a lot of room to the stick side of Perry. But Baker found it. Squeezed it in there. Top shelf. And it's 5-0. And we can start to prepare very soon, Rob and Frank, for a Darien New Canaan FCIAC Girls Ice Hockey Final.
You would like to think at 1:11 of the second period you're not closing the door on things, but Darien looks awfully impressive right now, and the inevitable seems like it might happen. In the circle, on net, Perry will hold on off the wrister by Shea Vandenbroek.
Not closing the door, always hoping for some kind of a miracle, but I don't see any cracks in Darien right now. Frank?
And that last goal was Baker from Schiff and Lowe. And John, you talked about it. There was not much room above the stick side. I had a perfect view from right behind where she was shooting, and Baker put that in the only spot that was there.
It was like she picked the hardest spot to shoot at just to see if she could.
What a shot.
It was Baker's street for sure, and it's 5-0.
My goodness.
Back behind the net.
That was cheeky.
I thought it worked. Bouncing off the boards out to center. Waiting there was Biz Fay. Sending it down the right side. Just across the line. In a 5-0 game. The other way it comes, into the right circle. Looking for more comes Darien. They'll come behind the net with Emily Ferguson. Ferguson comes along into the right corner. Ferguson stops in the right corner, worked it out in front, and it goes the other way. Bouncing along the boards in that left corner now. It's a 5-0 game, 12:35 remaining in the second period. Ludlow has knocked off McMahon, by the way, 75-59 according to Sean Saylor. They just now await what's going on with Greenwich and Ridgefield. And a whistle here with 12:25 to go in the second period. Sean's the best. Thank you very much. We'll see him Friday for the FCIAC Girls Championship. Face-off will come to the right side of Claire Perry. Off the draw, it is controlled by the Blue Wave. Bevel, now behind the net. Along comes Cassidy Schiff, works it out in front, and Claire Perry snags it with the glove.
She had a little bit of a screen set for her in the crease by Baker, but stayed with the shot, snagged it, and looks like we have a penalty.
It's Corinne Bevel. She's going off for a slash. Looked to have been a little late after the whistle, and I think the ref, similar to that first game we saw, just going to try to keep it very tight, not let anything go here down the stretch.
That'll come at 2:45. So Bevel off for the slash. 5-0 here. Face off to the right side of Emily Giannunzio, who has not been tested so far. Working it along to the right boards. Short-handed are the Blue Wave. Out of the right corner, dug out over there. For SWS, it's Stephanie Walsh along. Now Haley Blau climbs into the conversation. Blau from West Hill. Set up behind the net, coming off with Baker into the right corner. Taken back behind the net once again by Walsh. Walsh from Stamford High School. She will bring it back out. Working it into the neutral zone. Down the left side it goes. Into the Darien zone. But back to play it is Katie Zero. Trying to set it up and bring it back the other way with Baker. Baker went to throw it all the way to the other end, but it was deflected by Blau. 1 minute to go in the penalty, and somebody in need of a switch, as well as perhaps a hug. Back into the SWS end. It goes out to center. Bounced away from Babchenko with 48 to go. Now out of the right circle. Zero sent it off the side of the cage. Here's Cassidy back behind it into the corner. Cassidy works it back out to the top of the right circle. That got deflected and became dangerous as it comes off to the left boards. 30 remaining on the power play. It'll go behind the net with 10:42 to go in the second period. A 5-0 Darien lead. Looking to work it back out of the neutral zone. They do. Down the right side it goes into the Darien zone. 15 remaining on this power play. Yes, you heard me correct. Back behind the net, they'll work it around. Play it to the left wing boards. Cassidy had it, turned it over. Taken there by Emily Gitlin, the sophomore from Staples. Goes behind the net, power play expires. 10:13 to go in the second period. We skated even strength and 5-0. Here come the Blue Wave looking for more. To the left side, Kathleen Tropsa puts it on net, and Claire Perry able to cover.
Perry slamming the door there. Tropsa coast to coast on that, put on a 90-degree move right before the red line. Tried to jam it home. Perry up to the task.
Face off will come eventually.
One of these SWS players in distress right now.
So they will work Erin McGroarty off. She's from Staples High School, a senior. She will head off to her bench in a 5-0 game. 10:04 to go in the second period, and a face-off to the right side of Claire Perry.
And they need to send somebody on to replace her because they're skaters short right now.
They are.
They're delaying things.
They've got that taken care of with Casey Watson, a junior from West Hill, coming out. Watson will set up to the left of her netminder. And they'll go for the draw. And away we go. 10 minutes remaining, second period, 5-0. Just inside the line, they'll work it into the left corner in the SWS end. Set up, comes over into the circle, and out all the way it goes as Libby Branca, the freshman, will go back and get it. Play it ahead. They'll twist around and down to a knee. Climbing right back up goes Elise Morrow. Now across the line come the Blue Wave into the right circle. Work it to the left circle now. Taken over there, out of that left circle. Unable to come up with it was Emma Love, the sophomore. White sweaters for the Darien Blue Wave with those blue helmets on. The blue pants. But white, the key color here, along with that blue. Says Darien on the front, and you get that small number on the front of the sweater. A larger number on the back, and numbers as well on the sleeves. Into the left circle it goes, as well as some stripes and piping and all that good stuff that makes the uniforms what they are. And they're so much fun to talk about. Spun back out, it'll go to the neutral zone. By the way, John, while on the topic of uniforms, I have to get this out of my system because one of the more glorious things I have seen was announced about a week ago when we were all heading off toward Boston. And that is the announcement as, well, I'll hold off for a minute. Oh, down goes a Blue Wave. That's Emily Ferguson, but she climbs back up and no penalty called. And this is out of the zone and down into the Darien end. Coming back out of her net is Giannunzio to play the puck and send it off to her right. The short answer is this. The Pittsburgh Pirates are going back to the We Are families.
Yes, they are.
And that is just fantastic. Back the other way and an offside the call with 8:14 to go in the second period. Those just gorgeous black and golds of the 1970s.
That's a Sunday thing,
It
right?
is, yeah, it's going to be a Sunday thing. Well, you know, for a while they were wearing the 1971 uniform.
Which were glorious as well.
They were fantastic as well. That's that hat I bought last year up in Cooperstown that many recall seeing me in throughout the balance of baseball season last year. Our baseball, softball, and etc. schedule getting ready to get released, in fact. Across the line, here comes the Blue Wave. They leave it at the top of the right circle. That was Cassidy Schiff. They work it right back to the high slot. A little nudge over to the left point. Bringing it back to the top of the right circle. Through traffic, and they score! You could almost see that coming. With all the traffic set up out in front of Perry, it was not the best of situations for SWS. It worked perfectly for Darien, and it's 6-0.
I think that was off the shaft of Corinne Bevel's stick.
We will find out.
And John, you are right. Bevel did redeflect it off the original Zero shot, and also picking up another assist is Chandler Kirby again. And guys, also still on the SWS bench right now, senior Erin McRoherty getting worked on by the Darien trainer. They are looking at her right wrist to forearm area, and it doesn't look good right now.
And down on net, Perry will hold on. SWS, a team that is playing a little shorthanded to begin with, without Cara DeBello, their junior alternate captain, who was injured against Darien earlier in the season. And the face-off will come to the right side of Perry in a 6-0 game. 7:25 remaining in the second period. Off into the right corner it goes. Staying in that right corner, here's Cassidy. Cassidy right circle. Works it back out to the high slot. Feeds it over to the right point. They'll work it across to the top of the left circle. Down through traffic, deflected off the skate of Biz Fay. Goes behind the net, into the high slot. Work it to the top of the left circle. Again through traffic, and Fay able to deflect it into the corner. Keeping it alive along the left wing boards in a 6-0 game and under 7 to go in this second period. Starting back from bottom to top goes Rachel Stanford. Stanford trying to gain the zone, but it's spun right back around by the Blue Wave. They are relentless tonight as they get down on net and go off to the left corner. There's Cassidy. Cassidy wearing number 2 in that left circle. Knifes it along to the right circle, top of the right circle. Again into traffic it goes. It's loose and Cassidy will go collect it behind the net into the right corner. 6:23 to go in the period, and that just missed. I mean, you talk about a loose puck that just kind of dabbled along and went to the right side of Perry. Top of the right circle, bounces along the boards, comes behind the net. SWS able to grab it with Fay into the right corner. Now in that right circle, into the slot, deflected, bounces along the boards and the glass and comes behind the net. Taken away again, this time by Molly Reed. The Blue Wave just keep the pressure on. Slot, slap shot, and covered by Perry.
Another one that you would call a flutter bomb, Rob, coming in, dipping on her. And again, just like in that first game, you're seeing the goaltender keep it from actually being worse than it is.
5:48 to go. Second period, 6-0. Stephanie Walsh will go for the face-off for SWS as she met Elise Morrow. Goes behind the net with Biz Fay along to the left wing boards. Along comes Carolyn Gray, a freshman from Staples. Down into that corner, here's Fay back behind the net. Working it behind her own net because the Blue Wave just keep the pressure on. Morrow now behind the net. Fay again works it along. It goes into the left corner. 5:25 to go second period. 6-0. Into the right corner, just playing keep away. That was Walsh. Walsh trying to clear the zone for SWS. They kick it back to the right point. It bounces back out to center. Emily Ferguson will grab it there. 5:06 remaining in the second period, and across the line they'll send it down and it'll bounce around behind the net. Taken back behind the cage, Biz Fay will go off to the right corner. Now over in that right corner is Babchenko with 4:54 to go in the second period. Collected by Walsh, she will skate out of the zone in a 6-0 game. Send it down the right wing side. I like Jamie. I'm not sure I want him in the booth tonight. I had him on the show today. Back out it comes into the neutral zone with Darien. Bringing it across the line down the right wing. That looks like Ferguson. She'll go behind the net. Now it got loose. It goes into the slot. Put on net. And a couple of pushes at it, and a whistle will send the face-off to the left of Perry.
You know, Frank, we're seeing a lot, at least that last possession, a lot of circling by Darien. Are they trying different things to see what they can get working?
I think what they've figured out so far is that the longer they hold on to the puck, they start the cycle on the outside. The SWS defense sort of gets caught, gets a little mesmerized puck watching, and that's what's opened up the lanes to the front of the net where they've had easy shots from.
Into the right corner come the Blue Wave. They will go behind the net with Cassidy Schiff. Out to the right, to the left point. Schiff will take it back in the left corner. 4:04 to go, second period, 6-0. Darien on top and very much on their way to the FCIAC championship game. To the top of the right circle, Chandler Kirby. Now back behind the net and into the right corner goes Bevel. Bevel back to the right point. Bevel in the circle, twisting around, and along comes Kirby. Kirby in the circle sends the flutter bomb into the left corner. That not a dangerous one. Sent back into the circle, now on net, twisting around, and it's loose and trying to do something with it. It goes behind the net with Shea Vandenbroek. To the hash marks, it's kicked along. Kick save and a beauty, although not exactly as it hits the post. Off to the circle it goes. Down into the corner now. In the left corner, 3:18 to go in the second period. Along comes Haley Blau trying to stop the damage. It's a 6-0 game. 2 in this period. They put 4 on the board in period number 1. Dropping down goes Shea Vandenbroek. She now comes along to the left wing boards. Trying to get it out of the zone. And taken by Stanford. Unable to do so. Into the high slot. On net, and Perry makes the glove save.
But, John, you saw there, the longer Darien works that cycle along the boards, SWS starts to expand, and it opens up those shots through the slot.
Exactly as you said. And it was very well exemplified there. Update from up at Fairfield Ludlow girls basketball semis. Ward 40, Ridgefield 38 after 3. Ridgefield had cut that lead down to 4. Winner is going to face Stamford Friday night. You'll see that on the HAN network.
I want to clarify something just because I'm getting 2 different pieces of information. We'll bring it back in a moment. Into the left circle, they'll work it down to the right corner. You were saying 40-38. I'm seeing 40-32.
I'm sorry, 40-32 is correct.
Okay, just want to make sure.
It's back to 8. That's where the 8 came from.
Gotcha, no problem.
Thank you.
Into the left circle it goes. John's getting texts. I'm seeing things on Twitter, and we just want to make sure we're all on the same page here as we try to multitask.
I remember having access to the internet.
Did you loot? What happened?
Oh, I had it come and go for the better part of this game.
Oh, Marissa Baker was there. Couldn't get it home. Down into the right corner it goes with 2:04 remaining in the second period. We remind you, our friend Claire Craven will join us in between periods 2 and 3. That's known as the second intermission, as Claire Perry here will hold on With 1:52 to go, we will talk about ALS and raising money for, raising money not only for doing the right thing for ALS, but really trying to find a cure and get rid of this really awful thing.
Yeah, it's a great fundraiser they have going among the Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference hockey teams.
Into the high slot it goes, now into the right circle, putting it on net, and Perry will hold on out of the right circle. Hard wrister from Sky Vandenbroek.
And just so we are clear on that, Ward 40, Ridgefield 32.
Gotcha.
Ward by 8 after 3.
All right. FCIAC Championship on Friday night. We'll have that for you here on the HAN Network. And we'll have the FCIAC Girls Hockey Championship on Saturday at 12:50. Top of the right circle to work it to the top of the left circle. Now into that left circle. Puck was loose as it deflected off Haley Blau. And they keep it alive and send it just wide. 1:25 to go in the period. Into the left corner. Working it out of the left corner, there's Cassidy. Now they push it just wide. Oh, that just missed and not by much. Couple of times I could see there where this could climb to about 9-0, but that's where Perry has been so good. Into the right circle now. There's Cassidy into the slot and pushed aside again by Perry. 1:03 to go in the second period, down to the final 60.
Sorry, Rob.
That's all right. Behind the net it goes. Cassidy comes along as well as Haley Blau. They'll work it back out to the right point. Now in the slot. That's Cassidy twisting over into the right corner. It goes. Puck loose. It'll go behind the net and played there by Sky Vandenbroek. Top of the left circle it goes one more time. Emily Ferguson there. In the left circle. Terrific save made. Kicking it aside was Perry. We're down to a half minute to go in the second period. And a whistle stops everything with 27 to go.
If you're SWS right now, you have got to find a way to just survive 27 more seconds. I know that 6-0 doesn't seem that much different than 7-0, but mentally and morally right now, you need to survive 27 seconds and get out of this period.
Face off to the dot, closer to the crowd, with 27 remaining in the period. And off the draw is controlled by the Blue Wave. Now it'll be taken by SWS as they look to knife it back out the center. To the right wing boards it goes, but the Blue Wave keep the pressure alive with Molly Reed down into the corner. 15 to go in the period. Top of the right circle. Deflected off the body of Babchenko. Kept alive in that right circle. Now down into the corner it goes with 7 remaining in the period. To the right wing side, Babchenko grabs it. She'll look to lift it out, and she does. Down to 2-1 as it comes across the line, and the period is over. 2 more on the board for the white and blue. SWS has been struggling to find the net at the other end. After 2, Darien 6, SWS nothing.
Not to crack wise, they've been struggling to find the other end.
They have.
I mean, really, all of the play has been in the Darien offensive zone.
Frank, it's been impressive.
SWS still without a shot. Maybe has spent 60 seconds on the opposite side of the red line. Darien is just showing why they are the #1 team in the conference and the state right now, as they are just enforcing their will up and down the ice.
It has been relentless. After 2, Darien 6, SWS nothing. Stick around for the second intermission. We'll speak with Claire Craven as we continue along from the Darien Ice Rink, and we'll chuck some pucks as well. We stick around right here. You come back with us as you're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at denalioutdoor.com.
It was a great game, but it got messy at the end. With sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, back to you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, speaking of messy, here's a story about how Triple S cleaned up a big problem for the HAN Network. Eric, let's roll that footage.
The HAN Network travels all over Fairfield County in our HAN Cruiser, covering news, sports, and entertainment.
And when we do, we make sure that our HAN Network branded floor mats are with us to keep the dust and dirt outside.
These mats get filthy, and there's only one company that can get rid of that kind of dirt.
Triple S, with locations all over Fairfield County, we're just now pulling into their Stamford facility. Rob, let's go see if Steve and Wanda can clean these mats up.
Wanda, Steve, literally thousands of feet have walked across our mats in the last 5 months in wind, rain, mud, more.
Is there any way you could make these mats look like new again?
No problem.
That's what we do here. Come on in.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
Welcome back to the Darien Ice Rink. I'm Rob Adams. After 2, a very impressive performance by the Darien Blue Wave. They lead 6-0 here in this FCIAC semifinal, but we are very happy to be joined by Claire Craven, who is going to tell us all about FCIAC #IceALS. And icing ALS is something I think we would all like to see. You know, the origin of it all is Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Lou Gehrig, of course, 1939, makes his famous speech at Yankee Stadium. And Claire, it has become known as Lou Gehrig's disease, but it's almost kind of moved back into being known as ALS once again. And regardless of whatever you want to call it, this is a very worthwhile campaign going on here tonight for and a very good charity. Tell me how this all came to be.
Well, it began actually last year. My son played hockey as a senior, and his coach approached our family knowing that our husband was diagnosed, well, not my husband, was diagnosed with ALS, and asked what he could do, and said so many people had approached him on how the community could support us. One of the things that we talked about was that ALS is not an incurable disease, but it definitely is an underfunded one. So we decided to team up with our rival, Ridgefield, and we had a huge hockey game and raised a ton of money for ALS research. And it was so well received, and the kids had so much fun that the FCIAC actually approached us this year about taking that same idea and spreading it to all of the schools. So this year we have 15 schools, 20 different teams, both boys and girls ice hockey, and we had 21 games in the month of January where all of these players had bake sales and, you know, chuck-a-pucks like we're doing tonight and 50-50s, and just really went out of their way to help raise funds for ALS. It was fantastic.
And you set a goal, as we talked about, because we had you on the first game as well, but you set a goal, you're trying to attain that goal, and you know, all the schools are trying to contribute, and even there, not a competition, but they're certainly keeping track of what schools are raising, you know, certain amounts of money.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is ice hockey. It's always about competition. So there's competition on the ice and competition off the ice. And good-natured. You know, the one thing I love about ice hockey is no matter how tough it is on the ice, you shake hands and you move on when you get off. And that was kind of our philosophy. So the players have all joined together, and trust me, they know exactly who is where in the pecking order. So if you go actually to our website, which is als.net/ice, ICEALS. You can actually see a banner on the right-hand side, and each of the 15 schools is listed. You can see who's in first and who's in second and who needs some help. And so we just encourage everyone to log on, donate, $5 or $5,000. Every penny helps.
I will give away a little secret, though. If you go look at that website, you will see which team is in the lead. And this very cool sweater that you're wearing. You and I talked about it at one point during a break in the action here tonight. These very cool jersey sweaters, as we call them in hockey. Very cool what you're wearing.
They are. You know what? Brett Amaro last season actually purchased a whole set of jerseys, and these are our ALS jerseys. So no matter which team is playing for Wilton, the boys or the girls, they get to wear the jerseys. And mine happens to have a 21 because that was my son's number who played last year. But it's fantastic, and there were so many people that really helped out. You know, one of the The people that really was fantastic was Blue Line Sports, and Jamie Tropsa and his entire team donated all of the helmet stickers, not only for our players last year, but for all 500 players who played this year. So it was just a fantastic effort and just such a glimpse into what hockey is about and the sense of family that you have, and how when one of yours is down, everyone piles in and wants to help.
How about your husband? What can you tell us about him? And just tell us about him.
You know what? I'm blessed. He is doing really well. My husband has a very slower version. Most people, unfortunately, are gone within 2 years. About 50% pass within 2 years. And then certainly within 10 years is about the longevity of the disease. But he is doing well. He actually started with his symptoms in his hands and his throat. So like most people who are diagnosed, 90% are sporadic. They don't understand why. And like most of them, we were confused and didn't really understand why, but pretty soon a visit to a doctor let us know what's going on. So, he's doing great. He still walks and still has mobility. He is retired now and trying to enjoy some time with his kids. We have 2 daughters that are seniors this year and captains of their high school hockey team, and then of course our son is at Holy Cross playing club hockey. But we are doing well as a family. Thank you for asking.
Well, you give our best to Eric as well, and to your daughters and your son, and thank you because you've been such a trooper to come up here so many times tonight to speak with us. And let's stay in touch. We've got Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. Let's keep getting the word out and keep doing what we can to get rid of ALS.
Thank you. We sure appreciate anyone and everyone's support. It's a wonderful opportunity to come together to a great cause and a great charity.
Well, Claire, thank you so much. We look forward to speaking with you again, and enjoy the third period of this hockey game.
Thank you. We will.
All right. We get ready to take a break here from the Darien Ice Rink. 6-0 after 2. Darien on their way to the FCIAC Championship game where they'll meet New Canaan. We'll get the third period going in a little bit right here. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
It's the new year. The to-do list is long and it's easy to feel pulled in many directions at once. Your professional personal shoppers at Walter Stewart's are ready to check groceries off your list by shopping for you. Save extra time this year and spend it doing more important things. Great food and wine delivered to your home with the same-day service. Shop Stewart's online at stewartsmarket.com.
Here at the Organic Yard, we use bionutritional products in our lawn care programs, which reduces the need for fertilizers, nitrates, phosphates, and pesticides up to 80%, making a safer environment for your family and pets. With our organic lawn treatment, you'll receive vigorous, healthy plants with improved root development and better drought resistance. Enroll now in our 2016 Organic Yard program and get a free organic deer tick treatment. Call us today at 914-764-5491 or go to our website at millerslandscapinginc.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to the Darien Ice Rink. Rob Adams, John Kovac, Frank Granito, 6-0 after 2. Darien has just been so impressive.
Darien's been impressive on what is a wild night around the FCIAC. And I've got some out-of-town other sports updates, Rob, if you want to run those down.
I do want to run those down, and there is one that is really good.
Well, right now, in the second FCIAC girls basketball semifinal, Ward has a 1-point lead, 47-46, less than 2 minutes to go against Ridgefield. That one is just crazy. And now that lead up to 3, according to reports from the scene. Taking a look at some boys finals. Danbury has clinched the number 1 seed in the FCIAC boys basketball tournament, 66-51. Over Staples. Trumbull clinches the 2nd seed. They beat Darien 60-50. McMahon eliminated and Ludlow stays alive as the Falcons beat the Senators 75-59. Wilton with a 76-53 win over Norwalk. Rob, you've got a Ridgefield-Stanford boys score.
A Ridgefield-Stanford boys score. Ridgefield has knocked off Stanford 43-38. So Ridgefield now 11-9 on the year, and they will play in the FCIAC quarterfinals on Saturday at Ludlow.
All right, we're looking for a Greenwich-New Canaan score.
Greenwich-New Canaan, got that for you. Greenwich 57, New Canaan 44.
This is like a Stormcast, except they're not school closings. It really is, has that Stormcast feel. Again, so we will have, in girls basketball, the final. That's been moved to Friday night, remember, because of the weather postponement last night.
Right.
Stanford, the 1 seed, will play, Stanford, the 2 seed, will play the winner of the 4-1 game between Ridgefield and Ward, which is a nail-biter right now.
A Layla Markovic layup for Ward has 49-46 in that semifinal game with 1:08 to play.
We may want to do play-by-play of that for the first couple of minutes of this.
We may want to from this perspective, although I know the kids from Staples are having some fun with it. 3rd period set to get underway here, and it's been all Darien.
And hopefully by the end of that 3rd period, we'll be in touch with Dave Stewart of the New Canaan Advertiser and FCIAC.net, and he'll have the boys' pairings for this weekend.
And again, our thanks to Claire Craven, who was just magnificent. We interviewed her twice in this in this evening, and again, just wonderfully spoken and really a good representative for ALS.
Scott Erickson reporting that West Hill gets into the FCIAC boys playoffs with an 82-56 win over Central. We are not going to watch Central repeat.
Nope. Central struggled this year. Of course, West Hill has a chance now to defend their title. They won the FCIAC championship last year, did the Vikings, as they knocked off Norwalk. Norwalk will not be in the playoffs this year, but West Hill is in to defend their title. 82-56, they knocked off Central. Central, of course, won 2 years ago, and I believe for Central they are going to wind up going 0 for everything this year, which is just a shame.
Yeah, did not see that coming.
I knew it was a team in transition. I didn't know what kind of transition it was, though, John, and you feel bad for the kids.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's right. That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Bridgeport Central won all the big prizes.
That's right. I thought that was, man. I'm just all confused. I'm coming up on 2 years of my show this week, so.
That's right. Yankee Fisherman, 2 years.
February 28th.
No kidding. My gosh. Where has the time gone?
I'm not sure.
Emily Giannunzio might be wondering the same thing as she gets ready to take over out in front of her net. The junior's wondering where the time has gone because she has not been challenged all night.
That's just amazing that we're 30 minutes into this game and she hasn't faced a shot.
And the third period is set to go.
Ward has the ball with 50 seconds left in the FCIAC girls basketball semi.
We will keep an eye on that, and indeed it does look like, as it goes right down on net, and it is a 7th goal on the evening.
And that was a questionable play by Perry. Took an interesting hop off the backboards there. She tried to tried to stick it aside, but instead it rolled up out into the middle of the slot, and there was no one covering Cassidy, who put it away.
Cassidy with her second on the night, 7-0. And just to confirm, John, and I hate confirming it, but duty-bound we are. Yes, Central will go 0 for the season.
Ouch.
Yep. Cross ice it comes. Skating down from the right circle went Katie Zarro. Goes off into the right corner. In that right corner, the Blue Wave skating from bottom to top. Little nudge over to the left point. From there goes Chandler Kirby. Kirby has one of the goals on the night. It's Kirby, Bevel, Cassidy, Kirby, Baker, Bevel, and Cassidy. As this comes back down with 14:15 remaining. Cassidy in the right corner. In her own end. Rachel Stanford was there for SWS. And they skate right back out. Sky Vandenbroek gets across the line into the slot, and it'll trickle down on net, and Claire Perry will cover. .59 seconds gone by in the third.
A long 59 seconds.
And the face-off will come to the right side. Marissa Baker already waiting. Off the face-off. From the side of the left circle, thrown from the angle, it'll go to the far side. At the right circle, in the right corner now, down the plate is Courtney Lowe. In that right corner. We are all but certain we know we'll see Darien and New Canaan on Sunday. That is not to show, or Saturday rather, that is not to show disrespect for SWS.
No.
You just recognize that a 7-goal deficit is very hard to overcome, especially in the third period, playing the best team in the state as this rockets off into the left circle. So certainly it's more reality than it is disrespecting anyone. Across the line does come SWS with Stephanie Walsh. Walsh gets it across the line, puts it on net, but sends it just off to the side of Giannunzio, thus not a shot on net. Pushed back out to the neutral zone, and Cassidy Schiff had it for a moment. Spun right back around by SWS. This will go down into the left corner. 2 minutes gone by, third period, 7-0 Darien. Courtney Lowe nudges it forward to Corinne Bevel, and out of the zone it goes. Into the neutral zone they work it, push it down into the SWS end. Back to play it is Biz Fay, the freshman for SWS. They are a young team, our SWS, as you look up and down their roster, and you learn that they will get a little older next year, learn a little more, and they will be a better team. It is a building program. But for Darien, you're talking about a team on the verge of 4 in a row.
Rob, from Fairfield Ludlow, Bill Bloxham reporting. Ridgefield with the ball, less than 15 seconds left. Ridgefield down 2.
This will come down into the Darien zone. Almost went beyond the end line, but not the case, and they'll turn it right back around. 12:04 remaining. Third period, 7-0. They'll go to the hash marks and a battle of 4s between Stanford and Libby Branca, and back out to the neutral zone. Now into the SWS end. It's turned over, and here comes Emily Ferguson to the left circle. She goes into the left corner in a 7-0 game with 11:43 remaining.
Going out of the FCIAC, but
in the left corner. When you're ready, John,
go
ahead.
I have two updates at once coming in, so give me 2 seconds here.
All right.
Girls basketball, Ward wins as a 3-point shot bounces short. 51-49 Ward over Ridgefield. Ward, number 1, Stamford, number 2. FCIAC Girls Basketball Championship Friday night on the HAN network.
We'll have the call. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rob. From Dan Nowak of the New Haven Register. Doug Caliendo with the game winner tonight.
Very cool. And Doug Caliendo, if you didn't see it, was honored by the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden the other night. Even got to visit with Kevin Klein, who scored the overtime game winner in that game that he went to, as well did other members of Notre Dame of West Haven. A very cool scene. They played his video, of course, of the big goal he had in overtime, Caliendo's goal, that is, that he had. They played it on the video board at Madison Square Garden, so a pretty cool scene. Here we had 10:35 to go, and Darien in control, up 7-0. Down along the right wing, they backhand it down toward Claire Perry. She will cover with 10:27 remaining.
Guess what I just got?
How about the seedings for the boys FCIAC tournament?
Yeah, you want to do the honors? You're the voice of the FCIAC?
I don't feel right doing that.
Yes, you should.
All right, if you say so. By the way, a very cool tweet that I retweeted from Black Knight Nation from Stanford. It's on, Ward.
Oh, boy. Here we go. So, social media makes sports that much better.
As long as it's kept like that, it is a pretty cool thing. All right, let us set the boys' tournament for the FCIAC, which we will have for you, semis and final. We will have that for you here on the network. As Darien keeps the pressure on with 9:59 to go. It'll be number 3 Stamford taking on number 6 Westhill at noon. These games will be played at Fairfield Ludlow. So the 3-6 is Stamford and Westhill. The 2-7 game will be at 2 o'clock. Trumbull will take on Ridgefield. Trumbull the 2, Ridgefield the 7. Number 4 Ward will play number 5 Wilton at 5 o'clock. And at 7, number 1 Danbury and number 8 Ludlow. So Stamford Westhill, Trumbull Ridgefield, Ward Wilton, and Danbury Ludlow, noon 2, 5, 7, FCIAC tournament quarterfinals on Saturday. And as Dave Stewart said today on Nutmeg Sports, and I concur, any one of those games, any one of those teams can win it. This is going to be an icing with 9:09 to go. There is not a question in my mind that Ludlow could give Danbury fits.
Oh, it's going to be a fascinating field. We will have a hockey triple header Saturday while that's going on. And then we'll pick up basketball with the semifinals. And again, we'll have the girls' final Friday night.
Here it is 7-0 with 9:05 to play. And the clock just ticking down to what has been the inevitable. The FCIAC championship. Here is Georgia Cassidy. Cassidy getting down on net. Cassidy skates across, and she got pushed aside. Doesn't happen very often with Georgia Cassidy. And SWS will get it back out of the zone. Bring it back out to the neutral zone with 8:40 remaining.
Frank still down there?
Still here, guys.
Just checking.
Just enjoying the basketball playoff preview.
We do what we can, Frank. We do what we can.
I tell you what, I worked the New Canaan-Danbury game the other night, and as much as I think Ludlow will be able to give them a game, that Danbury team looks very good right now.
Here goes Cassidy. Cassidy down on net. Cassidy! Receives congratulations for the 8th goal of the night.
That was anticlimactic.
It was.
I mean, just a 3-on-none there. Just SWS trying to get something, anything going. They got trapped in their own zone, and you had a flying wedge going up ice the other way, Frank.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding all night, and it's just only getting tougher right now. And you got to feel for junior goalie Claire Perry, who's done almost everything possible she could do tonight, but is still just being left out to dry at times.
Off into the left circle it goes with under 8 to play and an 8-0 game. And I'm seeing how Notre Dame of West Haven is tweeting who else would score the come-from-behind game winner in his hometown rink. Doug Caliendo with 1:24 left. Notre Dame beats Hamden 5-4.
You know, such a heartwarming story when he scored the overtime winner, and I believe that was the Inter-West Haven game.
Yes.
That he won.
Yes, it was.
Right. His father had just passed
that
after
day.
A battle with cancer that day. Doug plays, and Doug scores the game winner.
Bounces off the left boards to the left circle. Into the slot it goes. Thrown down.
What a save.
And a terrific save by Perry.
Just looking ahead now to what appears inevitable, and that a Darien-New Canaan FCIAC girls hockey final.
Yep.
They have met twice this season. Darien has won both, 3-2 on January 16th, 3-1 January 29th.
Back out into the neutral zone. It comes down into the Darien zone with 7:02 remaining in the third period. Twisting, it goes into the right circle. To my knowledge, SWS still without a shot, Frank.
That is correct, Rob.
Out into the neutral zone it goes. SWS has it deflected off the body of Elise Marrow. You talk about trying to pitch an ultimate shutout. They're looking for more. This time Perry makes the save.
And, Rob, we talked about SWS being a young team and looking ahead to the future. Think about the two semifinalist teams we'll see tonight who ultimately won't win, having both goalies come back, Gleason and Perry, and what an influence and impact they could have on the FCIAC next year.
You talk about battle-tested goalies.
And Darien and New Canaan are going to be graduating a lot of veteran experience from both their rosters after this year.
You're talking about some of these Darien players do not know what it's like to lose in the FCIAC. Now, of course, they've got to play New Canaan on Saturday, and that sets up all different kinds of drama because they've played essentially 2 one-goal games.
That's right. The second game was 3-1. They added the empty netter late. But we talked about it that night, how badly you wanted to see that matchup again, and how we thought the next game when we saw New Canaan first beat Ridgefield 7-0, that all roads ultimately were going to lead to this, and it's going to be a very exciting Saturday when you add in the two boys' quarterfinal games as well.
I agree. It's going to be a lot of fun. Off the face-off now, it's put down on net, and the save made by Perry. Along to the left wing boards it goes as we reach the final 6 minutes on this Wednesday evening. Of course, due to the weather, we're free tomorrow night because the girls' basketball semifinals were tonight. We know how that's playing out as well. We know it's going to be Ward and Stamford on Friday for the championship, and we're excited to bring it to you here on the HAN Network. That will be at Fairfield-Ludlow on Friday night as this comes down into the right wing boards in the Darien zone and spun right back around by Emily Ferguson. Ferguson skates down to the left circle. Ferguson on net, the save made by Perry. This goes off the post, goes behind the net. Now knifes over into the left corner with 5:23 to go. And then a busy Saturday with all the hockey, including what we know will be Darien and New Canaan. Darien here up 8. As we're looking at the potential for one big shutout Orama. 5-0 earlier tonight, and right now 8-0.
And then you take a second and you think about both those boys' games that you've got coming up. The 4-5 matchup of Ridgefield and New Canaan, who played so tight both times this year. That'll be a great game. And then St. Joe's Fairfield, and I know John was saying you don't really know which St. Joe's team will show up, but what another, just 2 games that day that could be unbelievable.
Going to be a fun day on Saturday, a triple header all right here on the HAN Network. And if Chris Callen and I don't kill each other, I love the guy. But we'll have a fun day right here on the HAN Network. You won't be along for that day.
I will not. I will not be around for that, and I apologize for missing it.
Oh, no, don't worry about apologizing. Out of the right circle, it'll go behind the net. And we'll have some fun with Cato. It'll be a good day for all of us. Long day. We'll have a lot of fun with it. 4:14 to go here. 8-0, and plenty of championships to be had. Girls ice hockey on Saturday, girls basketball on Friday, and then we'll do it all for the boys next week as well. To the side of the left circle it goes, pushing it down into the slot, and it's spun right back by SWS. They're able to bounce it out of the zone. Now it becomes a question of pride for this team. They know what's going on, does Darien. They want to pitch a total shutout with 3:47 remaining in an 8-0 game. Back it comes, trying to get it out of the zone. Emily Gitlin was there for SWS, and it'll be taken right back by Chandler Kirby. Kirby down the left side bounces it off and sends it around to the right wing boards. To the final 3.5 in an 8-0 game. Kirby, Bevel, Cassidy, Kirby, Baker, Bevel, Cassidy, and Cassidy. Those are your 8 on the evening. With 3:22 to go, it goes behind the net. Cassidy with the fairly uninspiring hat trick, if you will, with all due respect. Down into the right circle it goes. And Shea Vandenbroek down behind the net. with 3:07 remaining. Twisting, it goes into the right corner. Now into the slot and turned back out. SWS able to clear with Stanford, sends it down the left wing, but it'll come right back to the stick of number 17, Chandler Kirby, who knifes it back out of the zone, and down it goes for an icing with 2:45 remaining. Two minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Post game then, we'll shut it down and we'll call it a night. The mouthpiece hits the ice, and Chandler Kirby will retrieve it. Face-off will come to the left side of Emily Giannunzio. Babchenko and Cassidy for the draw. And the face-off won by the Blue Wave. Comes back behind the net, played by Kathleen Tropsa with 2:38 remaining. Bouncing back out to center with 2:35. It's 8-0, Darien on top. Spinning around goes Marissa Baker. Baker with a head of steam through the neutral zone. Gets across the line, down to the right wing, goes cross ice, throws it on net. Kirby.
Nice job by Perry fighting that one off with the butt end of her stick. Great look by Baker, cross ice through the slot, trying to get one to Kirby.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was her shoulder or the post, I thought, but it was the butt end of the stick.
Yeah, it just caught the knob of the stick and went up into the netting.
2:19 remaining. 8-0 the score. Face off to the right side of Perry. Puck is loose as it goes over into near the left corner, now in the left circle, and spun right back out to center. Taken back into the Darien zone, and the Blue Wave will grab it once again. Kathleen Tropsa will go behind her own net, play it to the left boards, and Marissa Baker will start the offense out of the zone. She collides with Carolyn Gray, as this will come back near the line and be taken back by Tropsa into her own zone. Sent ahead, and it goes to Chandler Kirby. Kirby down the left wing, into the left circle now with Cassidy, as we come under 100 seconds remaining on this Wednesday night, and into the left circle, now in the left corner. 8-0 the score with 90 seconds remaining. As we go to the top of the left circle, into the high slot, Kirby to the right circle, leaves it in that right circle. Fed across it goes, that's Tropsa in the high slot. Off to the right circle once again, Kirby. Doing a nice job of playing keep away, and they put it on net, and Perry stops it. We remind you, as we should, one more time, please, friends, go to als.net with the /ICE, ALS. That's ICEALS. It honors ALS patients and their families everywhere, including Eric Craven, the father of Wilton captains Amanda and Elizabeth, and in memory of former Trinity Catholic ice hockey player Drew Chimera. Every dollar helps, and it certainly does.
And it's a horrifying, awful, insidious disease.
It really is. 1 minute remaining, 8-0. We've all known, I think, people who have suffered from it at one time or another. And it really is. It is an awful disease. 44 seconds remaining. Just for me alone, reading Jonathan Eich's biography of Lou Gehrig, Luckiest Man, which is just as beautifully written as a biography can be, it really tells the story of how badly he suffered through 1939 to 1940 and 41, down into the right circle with 21 seconds remaining. So, if anything, read that. Read about Steve Gleason. Read about some of the others. It'll make you really want to think. 12 seconds to go. Darien up 8, and they're going to pitch a shutout here from the looks of it. Down it goes on net behind the cage with 5 to go. They keep it back there, and the Blue Wave are going to skate this one out. The Darien Blue Wave will play for the FCIAC Championship on Saturday. And they will take on, who else? The New Canaan Rams.
How did Darien player end up down on the ice?
Kathleen Tropsa came out of her bench to celebrate and just lost her footing and went right down. That's about the only slip-up this Blue Wave team made
she's
tonight.
All right.
I think her pride might be injured more than anything. Frank's going to find us a guest, and we're going to say goodnight from the Darien Ice Rink. The final score, Darien 8, SWS nothing. Back to tell you all about it and say goodnight right after this. You're watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield-Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield-Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. Welcome back to the Darien Ice Rink with John Kovach. I'm Rob Adams, and down on the ice is Frank Granito with our post-game guest. Frank.
I'm with Georgia Cassidy. Rob, Georgia, great game tonight. Congrats. You guys scored 8 goals. I just said to you, though, you didn't give up a shot all game. What does that say about the defense of your team?
I think that's even better than the 8 goals we put up on offense. It says a lot about our defense and our back checking and how far we've come from the beginning of the season when we were letting up 1 or 2 goals in games like this. So it's good that we developed that aspect of our game and that the defense is playing so strong, and there are so many solid girls back there, so it says a lot.
You guys are now playing in your 4th consecutive FCIAC championship, looking to win your 4th. What does that mean to this senior class?
It means a lot. We've had a lot of success together over the past 4 years and in youth hockey, so we've been playing together for so long, and winning another FCIAC championship would mean everything to us. We know it's going to be tough. There are a lot of good players on New Canaan, so we're going to have to fight for it, and if we get it, that would really tie everything together for us.
This will be your 3rd time playing New Canaan this year. You've won 2 already. Does that make this game more difficult than it already is?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to go in knowing we have to beat them for a 3rd time because they are such a good team. They have really good skaters, good goal scorers, great defense. So going in knowing we have to fight that hard for a 3rd time, it's a little scary, but I think we can do it.
Well, congrats again, Georgia, and we'll see you on Saturday. Thank you so much. Rob, back to you.
All right, Frank, thank you very much as we take it back up here. She was wonderful. Again, I described it as almost an anticlimactic hat trick, John, but she's just such an easy player to watch.
She said something in that interview with Frank that's a little scary if you think about it.
What's that?
Frank points out that they didn't allow any shots on goal. Yeah, it's because the defense is so much better. Earlier in games like this, we'd have given up 1 or 2 goals. Think about that. Think about that statement. Think about that focus on defense.
Good friends, the head coaches, Rich Buellin, Jamie Tropsa, they will have their work cut out for them to consider for Saturday at 12:50. That game will be right here on the HAN Network. We'll line up pregame coverage at 12:45. It will begin a triple header, plenty of hockey for us, and we'll just focus on Game 1, the Girls FCIAC Championship. I'm looking forward to it. We've seen one of their 2 previous games. I mean, lace them up and let's go.
Exactly. It's 2 essentially 1-goal games. It's a rivalry game. You know the place is going to be packed.
It's going to be fun.
Going to be a lot of fun.
They're the 2 best teams in the state. This is what we wanted to see. And it's for both these senior classes who have had such storied careers. It's 4 years coming to a close the way it should.
Yep, it will be a lot of fun again. We'll have it for you pregame show 12:45 on Saturday. Then the boys' games are scheduled for 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. It'll be a long day, and it's going to be a day that will bring us a lot of hockey. I'm looking forward to it. And this was, look, these games, we know what we saw here tonight. We saw 2 really efficient games, 5-0 and 8-0. But it's what we saw outside of here tonight, what we followed on Twitter. including
Exactly.
one really good FCIAC girls semifinal setting up for Stamford and Ward on Friday night. I'm excited for that one,
it's
too.
going to be a great game, and we wish we could be everywhere. We would love to be able to broadcast all of these games, but we had people at all over these sites keeping everything up to date. All the postseason's set now. The winter postseason means spring's almost here.
It's
go. All good.
Let's go. I mean, the HAN Cruiser Tour is right beyond that as well. I mean, it's just rolling along here.
Let's hit the links.
I like that way of thinking.
There you go.
That's a smart man.
That's
right
the way
there.
to take it home.
Gentlemen, good stuff. Thank you both, and see you Saturday. See you Friday.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. AJ Simonowski, I'll see you as well. He just wanted to make sure I recognized him. With all that said and done, that'll do it from the Darien Ice Rink. Final score in game number 2. The Darien Blue Wave move on to the FCIAC Championship as they knock off Stamford-Westhill-Staples in the 1-4 matchup. The Blue Wave win 8-0. Earlier tonight, number 2 New Canaan knocked off number 3 Ridgefield 5-0. Don't forget that Coffee Break will get your day started tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, and then we roll right in through the balance of the day, including Yankee Fisherman, as well as, of course, Arts and Leisure.
Arts and Leisure.
So that comes your way tomorrow. Friday, Coffee Break, and then the Girls FCIAC Basketball Championship at 7 o'clock as Ward takes on Stamford. Saturday, the hockey tripleheader, including Darien and New Canaan at 11:50. Now, for our entire crew, make it 12:50. For our entire crew, Eric Gendron, Marty Hersom, Tim Murphy, Steve Buno, Dave Stewart, AJ Simonowski, Frank Granito, John Kovach. I'm Rob Adams. Darien, New Canaan on Saturday. You've been watching the FCIAC on the HAN Network.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.